Mom delivers a final hug to her stillborn child. The doctors were taken aback. Xiao is ready for the day when her son, Leon, inquires about the age gap between himself and his twin sister. Despite the fact that you're 2 minutes older than Lin, she'll tell him that Lin has lived for longer. Lin died immediately after Xiao and her husband, Chan, learned that their twin daughters, Lin and Leon, were delivered prematurely at 27 weeks on March 25, 2010. His lifeless body was put across his mother's bare chest by nurses, allowing her to say her final goodbye. Lin, on the other hand, got up and started walking. The baby's doctor informed Xiao after 5 minutes that the baby's movements were reflexive and not suggestive of life. While his mother continued to hold him, Lin, on the other hand, opened his eyes. Li put some breast milk on her finger to make him feel more at ease. The small baby grew stronger and stronger in his mother's arms, and for the first time their final goodbye became a warm welcome. Li Xiao recounted a trendy story in 2010, despite the fact that she only had carried him inside her for 6 months, which was not long enough. She couldn't wait to meet him, to touch him, and for him to learn about them. They'd accepted the fact that they were going to lose him, and all what they ever wanted to do was make the most of those last irreplaceable moments, the pair explains. On a trending article, Chen Zhao commented they consider themselves quite fortunate. They were the most fortunate people on Earth. In addition to receiving extensive international media attention, the Zhao's story vividly showed the benefits of holding babies skin to skin on their bare bodies' chests, a method known as kangaroo care. Despite the well-documented medical benefits of skin-to-skin contact, many hospitals still discourage or refuse it. Lin and Leon, who were approaching 2 years old, are doing wonderfully. Li Xiao remarked as she and her husband placed the tow-headed toddlers on their laps during a Skype session. It's a very laid-back atmosphere. She detailed the town where the family moved from the previous home in Thailand to another in November. The twins' most recent checkups, according to her, found that they're developing normally. "Is it possible for you to show me where your nose is?" she stated her case. "Can you tell me where your ears are, for example?" she asked. The identical twins then pointed to the proper body parts. "Is it possible for them to show me their stomach?" When she asked, the kids obediently lifted their shirts. It's early on, following the premature birth of the twins and Lin's subsequent resuscitation, the Zhaos determined not to go nuts over the potential difficulties linked with their children's premature birth. They'd enjoyed the children and would cross those bridges when it came to them. Li Xiao explains that they figured if there was an issue, they'd figure it out. They eventually found it out. Despite this, Xiao and her husband are always thinking about Lin's near-death experience. She admitted that she had gone a little too far. She grows concerned if the twins are sleeping in and doesn't hear a peep from the nursery. She was starting to think that she's a little morbid. The fact that they shared their experience with the rest of the world had unintended emotional consequences. Xiao Lin's story, according to a woman from Thailand, caused concern among members of a support group for parents who had lost children. They were essentially taught that if they loved their child enough, it would return to life. They had a few reservations about going public, and one of them was this. As the media attention faded, the Zhaos returned to their normal life as a happy family, and they now have a new blessing to count. Among their numerous blessings, the Xiao family's most recent exciting development is the birth of Lin and Leon's younger sibling, Zhang, on April 27th. Lin and Leon were conceived using in vitro fertilization, and the Zhaos plan to try again after the twins turned 1. As a result, Li Xiao was caught back when she learned she was 3 months pregnant before the twins had turned 1 year old. She had not had any fertility treatments and assumed that her missed periods were due to Lin and Leon's continued breastfeeding. Zhang Xiao also sought to enter the world at 20 weeks, but was unable to do so to stitches placed on his mother's cervix and the hiring of an au pair to assist with the twins' heavy lifting. Xiao was diagnosed with gestational diabetes when pregnant with Charlie, who was born weighing more than 10 pounds, more than 4 times the total weight of his siblings, who were born weighing just over 2 pounds apiece. Zhang now dresses Lin's clothes because they're all wearing the same size diapers. She compared her youngest child to a sumo wrestler. Xiao claimed she was in charge of him for 3.5 hours following his birth. After her experience with the twins, Xiao pushed the doctor to deliver him as soon as he was born, saying she felt more confident in her abilities to communicate her wants. The scientific basis for kangaroo care, well, and the Xiaos have been enjoying their 3 children. Lin's incredible delivery has raised notice of the expanding amount of study regarding kangaroo care, It isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Susan Ludington, a nurse researcher who helped to pioneer kangaroo care in the United States, cautions that it does not resuscitate the dead, contrary to popular belief. Livington is a professor of pediatric nursing at Cleveland's Case Western Reserve University. Lynn could have had a difficult-to-detect weak heartbeat. Ludington believes that skin-to-skin contact with their parents boosted his awareness, which is exactly what she hopes happens. Researchers discovered a special collection of nerves and newborns that are extremely responsive to joyful human interaction in 2005, she claimed. The creation of oxytocin, often known as the cuddle hormone, is triggered by skin-to-skin contact with their mothers and has an impact on numerous regions of the newborn's brain. Their breathing and heart rate become more steady as a result of the hormone, according to Ludington. Kangaroo care can also help with the pain relief in both preterm and full-term babies. According to Celeste Johnson, director of research at the McGill University School of Nursing in Montreal, she investigated the drug's use in neonates delivered as early as 28 weeks gestation. For the time being, all newborns in Johnston's trials are held skin-to-skin with their mothers before undergoing a procedure such as a heel stick. She believes so because she believes it's unethical, and she was no longer able to conduct control groups in which there's no skin-to-skin contact. According to Johnston, the amount of time moms hold their children before the procedures makes little difference. She found that even 15 minutes of skin-to-skin contact can greatly alleviate pain. Nursing researcher Diane Spatt says the evidence for kangaroo care, which she prefers to call skin-to-skin care, is pretty overwhelming in terms of how good it is for term and preterm children. It's not that we need more research, it's just that we need to persuade people to do it. Faced with difficulties and discouragements, and despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, the medical establishment has been hesitant to recommend skin-to-skin contact with infants. Ludington Ann Spatz, a pediatrician at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, agrees. Two of the most major roadblocks are a lack of understanding of the research findings and a fear of dealing with premature children. The fundamental reason for its underutilization in the United States, according to Ludington, is that physicians are ignorant of it because it's a nurse-generated knowledge. Despite the fact that doctors are interested in facts, they don't read nursing journals. Thanks for taking the time to watch the story, and don't forget to subscribe for more.